Greetings, people. How are you? Hope you guys are having a good Monday. It is Local Music Monday. We're live on the D, all Disruption Network social media platforms. You can follow along on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, pretty much all those social media platforms. You know what I'm talking about. Much love to my sponsors. Big shout out to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When it's time to move and relocate, hit up Eddie and his fine staff at 315-335-0516 or hit them up at ejamoving.com. There's no task they can't handle. They'll pretty much move you wherever you need to go, whenever. They'll pack your boxes for you. They even give you free boxes, and they bring you pretty much wherever. You want to move to Japan, they'll move you to Japan. If you want to move to Camden, they'll move you to Camden. They'll even bring you to California. It doesn't really matter. There's no task they can't handle. ejamoving.com. Also, big shout out to my attorney, Dave Longaretta. Has been keeping me out of trouble for a long, long time. Thank you, Dave, for all that you do for us here at Disruption Network. 315-735-6162 is the hotline that you could call to get legal advice from my good friend, Dave Longaretta. Also, big shout out to Utica Coffee and, of course, my good friends over at the Saranac Brewery. Yeah, that's working now. Did it work?
It did.
It did work?
It worked.
I did it, guys.
Yes. This is the first time that we've had a four-way on. I mean, I'm sorry, four people on the show at once.
Oh, man. It is Local Music Monday, and joining me as always, my man Justin Smithson. Should I say Sammy award-winning co-host?
I know, right? Yes. All right, yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you, brother.
Yes.
Definitely.
I'm telling you, man, we don't win that award if not for you.
Me?
Yes.
I was going to say all of them out there.
Because I think they're all sick of me. Once I got you involved, then we became an award-winning podcast. Because everybody's kind of sick of me.
I'm not. I loved it.
I love it, too. We had such a great night. Definitely a night I'll never forget. And congratulations to all the winners out there, especially our good friend, Gary Johnson.
Absolutely.
Great stuff.
Yes.
Local Music Monday joining us today. We're having a tribute today to Freddy Piperata, who passed away back in December. My condolences to both of you. We have Freddy Jr. and Freddy III in the studio with us. Freddy was a great man, legendary singer. I remember the first time I heard Freddy, and I think it was like the 4th of July, walking down to Proctor Park, and I just heard this booming voice, and I'm like, who is that? And found out it was Freddy, man. So I see you have some CDs.
Yes.
These are awesome.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about the CD. First of all, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking time to talk to us about this,
Absolutely.
man. It's important
us,
to me to pay homage to the ones that came before us.
Right.
And I think that you, being in the young generation that you are, need to carry on that tradition, young man.
Right. Absolutely.
All right?
I agree with you.
I'm telling you right
100%,
now.
man.
Don't make me kick your ass, boy. I'm going to channel your grandfather today and beat you up a little bit.
Yeah, right.
I'll start running now. You say that.
Yeah, right.
But this is really cool, man. This is a great. So let's talk about the CD really quick. You took a bunch of his live stuff, and then you threw it. You have recording capabilities at your house. So talk a little bit about how you got some of this recording and how you put this into a CD.
Yeah. Well, years ago, we'd always do a couple, CDs to give away for his family and friends and stuff. Just demo recordings and karaoke, singing over karaoke just to fool around and stuff like that. But I always had bigger plans for him. Dad, let's do some of this, some of that. But it's just a collection of stuff over the years. So I call it the best of. There's a few outtakes on there that we never got to finish. Unfortunately, but it's just something that we wanted to put out to keep his name alive and keep the tradition going.
Absolutely.
So these are all taken from like different shows from back in the day?
Well, there's a few live ones with Soul Injection on there.
Okay.
Most of them are just his solo recordings that were recorded at my house, in my studio.
Mm-hmm. What was Christmas like at the Piperata house? There's so much talent in that family.
Insane.
There's just so much talent. And what was Christmas like? Were you guys just sitting around the Christmas tree singing jingles all night long? Or?
Yeah. Him with the guitar, my father, he always bring out the guitar, sing the songs. I mean, it's not the same. Never going to be the same without him. But since I was a kid, since I can remember, he was the center of the family anywhere we go. Mm-hmm. We used to have the big family parties back when I was a kid growing up, and he's got a huge family, so we'd all be in one big house. He'd be on a guitar, everybody singing and laughing and having fun, and he was the center of it all.
Fred, did you ever get a chance to perform with your dad?
A few times, you know,
Yeah.
nothing great. He had me to come up rap on stage or something, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the days, you know.
Were you doing some freestyle, or
Yeah,
do you have
just-
somebody already written?
No, just freestyle off the
Yeah.
top of the head, just to fool around. But I kind of always separated my stuff with his, you know, because of the audience, obviously, that he was
Sure.
there. So I tried to keep it a little light, but
You got his voice, by the way. Like
not the singing voice, but
no,
The
but
speaking
like the
voice.
speaking
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
You know, like that. There's that. Freddie always had that little bit of rasp in his voice.
Right.
You know, and you got the same thing. And it's like, oh man, it's like it gave me chills the second you
Yeah.
started talking. Like, and I could hear it in the headphones. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I got my mom's singing voice, not my father's. That's why I chose rap.
Justin, you had many chances to share the stage with Freddie, right?
Yes, I was very lucky, and you know, Freddie was always, and you guys know this, the type of guy that if there was a young band coming up, that he would, you know, he would always give them opportunities if he could, you know, and like I said, I forget the name of the band he was playing with. It would have been '94.
Probably Direct Hit. Or,
Direct Hit. That's
Yep.
exactly what it was.
Yep.
Direct Hit, and Direct Hit was playing. We were all doing a benefit at the Music Man Lounge on Route 49 in Marcy, and they were bringing down like cameras and stuff, and I couldn't even tell you what the benefit was for, but I mean it was a huge event, and there was tons of people there, and all of a sudden I just see this guy like and it was like one of those things where like you see in a movie where it's like all dark and then the spotlight comes on, and it's like just this man is larger than life, you know what I mean? And I still say to this day, when I first saw him do it, that he was the one that invented Raise the Roof.
Yeah.
Because he would do this dance where he would come and he would shimmy over here, and then he'd do this,
Yeah.
and then come back over and he would do this, you know. And I'm like, what is that? He goes, you know, like raise it up, like, you know, like. And I'm like, that's amazing. And of course that became popular. And I'm like,
Right.
Freddie invented that. I'm like, you can't take that away from him. He was doing that shit back in the '80s. Come on.
Hell yeah.
But you know, it was. You know, the first time I actually got to meet him though, because I played with Joe Rossi Jr.
Right, yep.
And so Joe's dad and your dad and grandpa were very, very best friends.
Yeah, they go way back.
Way back to Flame and like all that stuff. I mean, you know, they were always in the same circles, always playing around. And so like the day that we got, like I think Joe was the first one to get his license, or maybe it was Jose or whatever. But the very first thing we could do when we could leave and go somewhere was we went to Pepe's Pizza and got a slice when your dad was working. And it was like that was. You know, of course, he was like a celebrity to us. I mean, you know, those two knew him. I didn't. You know, I just knew it as here's this larger-than-life guy that I watched on stage, and I'm walking in. He's got the apron on, making pizza, and I'm like, my heart's racing. I'm going, I'm meeting a celebrity. This is crazy. I'm 13 years old, you know? But that's, I mean, I still got that every time I saw him. Because he commanded that, you know, that legend status. It was like that was him. You know,
just smooth, right?
Yeah.
And just smooth. He was cool.
Well, he made every single second that you spent around him better. You know what I mean? Like if you walked in, like I think Barney Vanderwood was talking about it. Like you have a bad, like they were having like everybody's having like an off day at that rehearsal for the All-Stars there at the Stanley. Freddie walked in, and all of a sudden everybody just pepped up. Like, oh, Freddie's here. Yeah, Freddie's here. You know, like
he was electric, man.
That's
the only way to really describe
on
it
stage
explain
and
it.
off
He was
stage.
just electric, man. His personality, like
Yeah, he had that
it's
personality.
Larger
wild,
than
man.
life.
Wow,
Yep.
absolutely.
I'm more shy and laid back, but my son's got it. He's a little more
Yeah, I'll
like
talk
my
to
father
anybody
was.
and their brother.
I know
It is what it is, man. You know what I mean? I'll talk to anybody, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because he was my idol, you know.
Yeah.
So that was the man to look up to between him and, you know, my grandfather.
Are you a
Those
musician
my-
yourself?
I am, yes,
You
guitar
are?
player.
You
Yeah,
play guitar?
Yep. I don't really do much with it. I mean, I used to be like super into it, but like I was telling you earlier, trying to play in hardcore punk bands, you know, metalcore bands, it's just where are you going to find the kids to play this type of music, you know? Like we were talking about earlier before we went on the air, like how, you know, kids are growing up now. Kids aren't even playing like analog really instruments anymore either. It's all digital. We're in a
Called it
digital
analog.
age, man.
Wow.
What you know what I mean? More analog.
He just called
I
it
guess.
analog.
Yeah, but
I guess that's
he's
like the
different
way
though.
to
He might be
describe
young,
it.
but he's
He's 21.
different. He knows.
Right, you know.
But that's you know.
I raised them like it was the '80s in my house, so you know.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, man.
But you're right. This is a conversation that we have often, especially on this
yeah.
program on Mondays, is there's not really any rising star coming out of Utica right now. And I mean somebody under the age of 21.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
That we know of. I mean, there's probably is, and we're just not No, they're not on our.
Yeah,
radar,
they're just
right?
under the radar. Well, nowadays with like YouTube and Twitch, like we were just talking about, like all that stuff. I mean, you don't have to leave your house anymore. You could be a superstar in your bedroom.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, you know, you just got to have the right look, the right timing. Maybe know somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you go viral once and you're set for life. It's crazy. You know, but. Yeah, I was lucky. I got to my favorite memories of Fred were we co-produced the Kelly's Christmas albums together.
Yes.
And that was so cool because it was you know, Jeff Adderman and you know, in the beginning it was Matt Wagner on, you know, engineering and stuff, and Tim Gillis came in and he did an album, but it was always Joe, Freddy, and I, Papa Joe, Freddy, and I, and that was like, and Kelly, and that was the four of us, and kind of like we would always have the meetings as the four of us. We put a lot of time and effort into that and rehearsal, and believe it or not, it was back. I mean, so it's probably been close to 10 years now. Yeah. And that was the first time I realized that Freddie played guitar. And I felt like an idiot because, well, I mean, you know, growing up, the only time I ever saw him is he was fronting a band.
Just to be a front man, yeah.
You know, which, I mean, you know, of course you're thinking to yourself, there's no possible way that he can do anything, you know, more than just be an incredible entertainer, because that would just be too much talent and God doesn't give you that. And so then I like hear this recording and Papa Joe's like, oh yeah, you know, that's Freddie playing, and he's playing all these jazz chords and different things, and playing a little solo here, and I'm like, that's Freddie. I go, why am I playing guitar on this record? Why am I? And he didn't, like, he would come in, I'd be like, Fred, you got to play this. No, man, you got it. You take care of it. You know, I go, but you just wrote all the chord sheets out. You showed me how to play the chords that I didn't know how to play. No. Go ahead. You do it. And I'm like, all right. But then we always got to play like once on the record. We always got him to do a rhythm track on the record, just because, you know. But yeah,
he loved guitars, man. That was that was his pastime. He loved the guitars.
Not a lot of people are fans of Soul Injection, you know, who didn't really know him too personal outside of the music. Didn't really know he was an accomplished guitar player.
Sure.
Like, phenomenal, man.
Right, because on stage that's what he wanted to be, the front man, you know, like Engelbert.
Right, he didn't want to take away from that.
Engelbert,
Right, he wanted to be the front man. You know?
Was that his idol, Engelbert?
Yeah, I mean, he loved them. He looked up to the guys like that, you know. That's what he.
The Kroners type of thing.
Well, not really. He liked Engelbert because Engelbert had a little more soul and feel to him than the standard Frank Sinatra and those guys like that.
Sure.
But he loved it all. But he always loved Engelbert so much because of the vocal ability, the range, you know.
Did you ever get to meet him?
I don't think he did.
No.
He's seen him a bunch of times.
Plenty of times.
I even went with him to a few concerts. Engelbert. I mean, you know, I enjoy all kind of music, so I would just sit back in awe. Yeah. Watching Engelbert Humperdinck, you know, you never think it, but it was a good show. And then Tower of Power, he loved the funk and soul. He loved.
He sang that so well.
Everything. R&B,
so well.
the soul. Even the rock, you know, back in the 80s, he had a little rock in him too. You know, 70s, he had some rock bands, and like you said, with Joe Rossi Sr., the father, they did some heavy stuff back then too.
Oh yeah,
were they trying to make it? Were they trying to actually?
They were always trying to make it.
They were a full-time band on the road everywhere, Florida.
Were they
all the way up?
They
and
were
down
everywhere.
The East Coast.
Were they writing their own stuff too, or they were cover?
I don't think nothing ever recorded.
Nothing.
But it was always you know, shows and everything like that. You know, I wasn't even born at that time.
Yeah.
But,
well, back then you could do tours and like they would put you up at like you'd play at a Radisson for a week in Tallahassee, you know what I mean? And then you would drive up to Georgia, you'd play at Radisson there for a week, and you just go, you know what I mean? Like back then, that was how the tours went. If you were a cover band, I mean, you went in and did a residency for a week, and then you moved on. You know, that's why the old bands like Night Watch and stuff at Lily Langtree's, they were the fill-in band when Target had to go on the road because Brian Rame owned Lily Langtree's, and when Target went on the road because they were the house band, Night Watch would come in and they would do the residency for them, like at Lily Langtree's. You know what I mean? So that's, but it was like, can you imagine that now? You just get there on Sunday, you rehearse a little bit, you play Monday through Friday, you pack up on Saturday, back out on the road. Oh, come on, man, awesome, that'd be great, you know?
For real.
Because all he ever talked about was, Key West, Key West. He loved Key West so much. He always talked about, when I was on the road, He loved it. That was like the time of his life.
You know, he was so much of a family man that once he had a family, then obviously had to, you know, slow down a bit on that. So he did take some time off in the 90s, early, you know, 90s, but I'm glad that he got back into it when he did, you know, with the Soul Injection and started, you know, because he loved it, man. He loved playing out, you know, he loved it. That was his favorite thing.
Did you roadie for those guys at all?
He did.
You
My
did?
son.
I did, yeah, I got to.
I did a few times, but he used to go with them all the time.
Yeah, all the time. And I'm so grateful for that, man. To have that now, you know, looking back, like I didn't know it then, but like was one of the best times of my life to spend with him.
And I'm sure you learned a
You
lot.
know, I did. Oh man, it was incredible. Some of the people I got to meet, the places I got to go with him. It's insane, man. And I'll forever be grateful for that, man. He gave me a gift with that. That was fun.
In situations
fun,
like
man.
that, man, you just sit back and be the sponge, right?
Right.
Absorb it all.
Just soak it all in, man. Like
That's how I was
seeing
my
all these
whole
older
life.
guys, you know, musicians. Like it's incredible watching them play, watching how they do it. Because like I said, I grew up in the hardcore punk scene. You set up your crappy amp, crappy guitar pedal, and beat the crap out of your friends in someone's basement. You know, it's cool to see older musicians and you know how they structure things, how they play, how they set up.
Right, you respect it all.
Right, respect it all, man. Yeah.
And that's how I was
incredible.
growing up, you know, just being with him, like the way everyone else looked at him, I looked at him like that too. He's my father, but he was my idol, man. Like everything, you know, just looking up at him. I was just always in his shadows, like looking up, and I was always quiet and shy, but just absorbing, you know, everything, observing and absorbing everything I could from him, you know. Everything, you know, from life to cooking to football to baseball to sport. I mean, whatever you can think of, you know, just looking up to him for it. Unfortunately, you know, like he taught me guitar and stuff like that. So I knew some instruments, but like I was saying earlier, my singing voice is not as good as him, unfortunately. But that's one thing I wish I could have learned from him, you know.
Sure.
I knew when I'd be in a conversation with Freddie, it'd be like an hour-long sports conversation.
Oh, yeah.
It was always Yankees and Giants because we both like the same teams, and we'd just sit there and talk and complain and bitch, and then, you know, but, you know, we'd still support our teams. You know?
Well, that was most of the conversation we had when we were producing the Christmas record. We were talking about Christmas music. It was freaking July. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking baseball. We're smack dab right in the middle of the baseball season. I mean, we're yelling and screaming at TVs. And I got my phone out watching the Yankee game. We're screaming and yelling. You know,
he loved them. Yeah, he loved the Yankees and the Giants, football Giants too. Oh man, his favorite. I mean, that's one of my earliest memories, just watching New York Giants football games with him. You know, sitting there watching the Giants from I was a baby. I mean, honestly. So people ask me how long you've been a Giants fan. I say since I was born, because I just kind of grew up into it. You know,
it's part of your DNA.
Yeah, for sure.
Baseball. I loved baseball when I was a kid too, but I kind of, like I was telling you earlier, kind of geared more towards the football, being a bigger guy.
Sure.
I like to play football and stuff, so I kind of took that on heavy, you know, like playing football and watching the Giants. Mark Bavaro was my idol. Lawrence Taylor, you know, those guys from the 80s, you know. My favorites.
Was your dad an athlete too growing up, or was he just strictly music?
No, he was when he was young, he loved football. He was a quarterback. He used to tell us the stories how he could throw a 60-yard football down the street. Anytime my friends would come over, he'd say, go down the street, keep going, keep going.
Just make him run.
Right.
Throw a ball 60 yards down the street, but
just keep going.
You know, as the years went on, his asthma was getting bad, so he couldn't do much of that anymore. But he always loved it, man. He was a diehard sports fan. You know, Giants, Yankees.
Yeah,
loved it, man.
And baseball's here too already.
I know.
Believe it?
No.
How quick?
Spring training games already, and they're doing a full season this year, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be so awesome.
Maybe the Yankees could get one for your dad.
I know.
That's
right?
great.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
Come on, Freddy.
Make it happen.
Get us a ring,
you know, he's looking down, going, "I got it. I'm pushing."
Oh, man, that's what I said. As a matter of fact, you know, the day after he passed away, the Giants were on, and we never missed a game. Every Sunday, I'd go to his house and just watch the game, whether it was just me and him, or the whole family. I never missed a game with him, and I couldn't watch that following Sunday. You know, I just didn't want to watch it, but they ended up beating the crap out of the team. And everyone knew it. The Giants were horrible this year, but we said, you know, my father's on the sidelines coaching right now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They beat the shit out of him, you know, and
it's a young team.
Crazy.
We're rebuilding. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's a young team. It's a rebuild season.
He gave Eli Manning such a hard time. Eli.
Oh, he did too. Oh my God. I used to live for those Facebook posts, and he would just post something like crazy,
Go
like
wild.
You know, screw Eli. You know, just yelling and screaming. You could tell that he was like really fast playing and going, "You son of a bitch."
He was
Typing with one
famous
finger,
for,
too. to
Yeah, one finger.
because he can't type that fast.
Yeah.
He was famous for his sports rants on Facebook.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Much as he hated Eli, though, that standing ovation he got that game, he cried like a baby.
No, he didn't
It was good.
hate him. He just,
I know.
you know,
Yeah.
He
gave him a hard
expected
time.
more. He expected
Right.
more out of him. He was
Exactly.
disappointed more than he wasn't.
Right. Right.
We have so many people checking in on Facebook
Yeah.
right now. I think we should say hello to everybody out there in Facebook land. And if you are watching on Facebook land, if you could do us a favor and click the share button. Borges congratulating us on the Sammy. Thank you, guys. Christina Piperata checking in. Hi, Christina.
Christina, what up?
Hi to Roy Costin. Tina Piperata checking in. Hi,
Tina.
Tina. Good to see you.
Yes.
Mom's in the house. Hi, guys. Let's see. Freddie was the best. I miss him from Dave Borgia.
What's up, Dave?
Dave, didn't he play with them too at one time?
I'm not
I
sure.
wanna say they
Maybe.
were. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Dave was part of the Christmas CDs too, so I mean,
gotcha.
you know, anybody, and it didn't matter if Freddie was recording or not. Freddie was always there. Like it didn't matter if he was there recording that day or not. He showed up every single day. From the and he was there from the second we got there to the second we left, and no matter what. So everybody that worked there worked with Freddie. You know what I mean? It was, you know.
Yeah, and he loved it, man. He loved working with you guys and stuff. He,
Yeah.
You know,
Was he into producing? Did he love
he
producing?
wasn't. I was more the producer, you know, like behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was always trying to edge him on, right? You know, I always hear him writing these songs in the back room or playing his own songs. And I said, Dad, what's that song? That's a great song. I want to download it. Who sings it? Oh, I wrote it. What are you talking about? You wrote it. Why don't you put it out? You know,
Right.
I'd be forcing him to try to do it. And he's like, nah. You know, and over the years, we did record a few originals with him. But back then, I had like a 4-track cassette tape. So, you know, I got to go
Sure.
through everything. But
Yeah.
he was always on stage was his main thing. I'm more behind the scene producing, technical, you know, because I've been a DJ all those years. So he loved the stage. That's what he loved, you know. So
Lisa Perry saying, "Nice to see FP3." Is that your stage name?
I guess so.
It is now.
Stuff like that.
Put your
I-
mic a little closer
man.
to you, buddy.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was
there you
taking a drink, the monster water.
FP3.
guess so,
That-
man.
P3, I like
That'd
it.
be a good band name for you.
Yeah, right. Man.
Mom's checking in.
Yep.
I want to send my condolences out to Nancy and the whole family's here. We have the
we got-
whole family in the house. I
know.
love it.
We got a bunch
What
of
up?
them.
Let's see. Hi, Daddy from Jessica White. Who's
Oh, that's probably my stepdaughter. That's my fiance, Jessica.
Oh,
But my
hi,
stepdaughter
guys.
gets the phone and types in.
Oh.
Hi, Nye.
Danny Melito checking in. Freddie was the best. He was a great entertainer and loved the stage, but most of all, he was a great guy.
Absolutely.
Thank you. man.
100%
Appreciate
Thank
facts.
you so much for that.
Dwayne Murrell, my
Dwayne.
father-in-law,
Uncle
was the
Wayne.
best frontman, a fantastic
That's my
father,
sister,
husband, and
so-
grandfather. Miss
up,
him so
Wayne?
much. Love you, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, everybody out there that's throwing out their wishes. Robert Soprenit, Freddie was the
Bobby.
best. Thank you,
808.
guys.
That's my
what up?
partner,
Shout
DJ
out.
808. What up?
You plan on getting into some more music, man?
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
I haven't been able to touch any music since his passing, but besides this, just mixing this down was hard enough for me, man. Like
Sure.
just being tears, trying to mix this down. So it might not be my best work mixing down, but it's just hard, man. You know, I
Yeah.
don't even feel like touching anything right now.
Sure.
You know, eventually, yes, I will, but
I'm sure that inspiration will come across
yeah,
you.
absolutely. It's always
You know,
going to be
it's
with me.
gonna-
So
Yeah.
Either that or your dad's going to give you a scoff in the
Yeah,
back
I
of your
know.
head, you know.
right.
What are you doing? You know?
But he always
And-
accepted it, you know, like
Yeah.
even though I wasn't in his lane, what he was doing, the hip hop and stuff, like
Right.
when I was young DJ, he always accepted it, and he'd even come in with his own raps, you know, busting through.
I would have loved to hear
Did he
that.
really?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's- you know, just come busting our balls and stuff. I had any friends over and stuff. He'd,
That must have made you crack up.
yeah, like when I was young, I used to get embarrassed. Nah, man, Dad, we're trying to sample records, and he'd come in, try this, and bring the guitar in. you know? I'm like, nah, man, nah. But my friend's like, yo, that's dope, man. Let's sample that. But
No, it's my dad.
right, you know, you kinda, you know, when you're young, you kind of like now. You know, I loved working with him, man, and any chance I got, I would. You know, we tried to record and come over, but it got tough for him. You know, like on stage, you wouldn't know, but if you lived with him or seen him after the show, he was always in, you know, tired and pain. He had a lot of ailments, you know,
Yeah.
gout in his foot and asthma and a lot of things, and it was tough for him. But on stage, you wouldn't know it.
No.
You know,
Right.
you wouldn't know it, but.
Like we talked about before we went on air, we were talking about the night of the CNY All-Stars, and he got up and did Three Dog Night. And I remember talking to him prior to the show, and he wasn't feeling too good that day. And
Right.
you would never have known. He got
No.
up there, and you would have thought he was
Yeah.
like freaking
He
Mick
was
Jagger
like
up
forever,
there. You know?
forever 21 on stage. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He was forever 21 years old, just, you know.
Yeah, he had a heart attack a few years ago, and he, as soon as he could, he had that pouch on him. What was it called? That thing?
Right, the little
defibrillator, whatever.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah.
He had to bring that on stage with him because for a few shows afterwards, but he didn't want to stop, man. You know.
No.
Yeah.
I remember catching that first show too. Oh my God, it was not the Harp. It was the place, the newer place on the corner there. It's like the church. It's like used to be an old church.
Yeah.
It's a bar now with the
Silver
outside
Beach, yeah.
Sanctuary.
the Sanctuary. I think
so, yeah.
that's what it was the first time after his heart attack. I think that's the same
Believe
place
so,
he
yeah.
played.
Oh yeah, right outside, and they had like it's right across from the Heart there, and it didn't have a cover on the stage. Yeah, the Sanctuary.
I remember
Yep.
catching him there right after his heart attack, man. I was just sitting there and like, this man. That's when I knew like this man is really serious about what he does.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Like something like that really would have, made somebody second guess.
Yep.
Calling it quits or retiring, especially being at, an older age where he's like you said, he had complications and stuff. And yeah, I remember just sitting there starstruck, man. Like I can't believe this guy who's really up here doing this. Like, yeah, that was definitely insane, man.
I gotta give a shout out, Paul Puma, who is the bass player for Soul Injection.
Great
He
bass
said,
player, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, great guy too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul, if you're watching, I love you, Paul. I miss you.
Yeah, he said the happiest I've ever been playing bass with Freddy is when he sang "Me and Mrs. Jones." I used to be playing and watching and listening to Freddy and almost be in tears. He was so good.
Yeah.
That song, though, oh my God.
Yeah, I put that on that CD because that was his favorite to sing. One of his favorites.
Definitely was.
To
Yeah.
sing that.
Nice. So good. Go back to the Facebook comments. There's a bunch going on. Don Shaver saying I saw him perform only once, as their booking never really overlapped in his area. Last minute decision to go out to see his old friend Paul LaPuma, and we got enjoy a great show. What a front man! Thank you, Don. Great show. Thank you guys. Jason Stevens. Thank you on the Sammy. Borges said he played on 3 CDs.
Yeah, the Christmas CDs. Yep.
Tag is saying this is why we need a Utica Musicians Hall of Fame. Freddie would be first ballot.
Oh yeah.
Longtime Achievement Award or Lifetime Achievement Award we'd give him, right? We got to make that happen, Justin.
Yeah.
This needs to happen.
I'm in.
This has been a topic of conversation every week, Freddie, with us. It's like there needs to be some sort of local music Hall of Fame to pay tribute to all the guys that have come out of this area.
So much talent around here.
It's exactly why we do Local Music Monday every Monday.
Absolutely.
Is to
showcase it all.
Showcase it all and pay tribute to those before us and to those that are coming up. So there is so much talent, man. Lisa Yako, Ray and I are listening. Freddie is missed. Thank you guys. Hope to see FP3 on stage performing one day.
Yeah. And oh my God.
That's from Lisa Perry.
Yeah, right. My grandmother, my mom's mother. I would love to. I always thought about it too, like going up on stage with Soul Injection. At the time, I wanted to maybe play guitar or something with them. And
yeah, Papa always wanted you to. He always invited you to, but you kind of always said, nah.
Like I said, I was into the hardcore punk, man.
Sure.
I'm lefty, so all of his guitars, every time I'd go over, I'd try and play upside down. He'd get so mad at me. I'd always down tune all of his guitars.
Drop C, drop.
Right, drop C. Yeah, he'd get so mad. He'd be like, the kid cannot keep it in standard. Cannot keep it in standard tuning. He used to get so mad. Heated, man. Right. Heated.
I was just going to say, like, you can't play Motown and drop C.
Right.
No. I mean, you could.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I've got sunshine.
There you go. Try it.
Yeah. I used to bust my chops all the time about like hardcore punk music and metalcore.
Yeah.
He'd be like, what are they screaming for? What are they screaming for?
Why are they
I
so
can't
mad?
understand what they're saying. But then when they'd sing, like clean vocals, he'd be like, see, why can't they sing like that the entire song? It's great. I would love it.
Right.
That was
But he
his big
appreciated
thing,
it
man.
for what it was.
Yeah.
He loved those rants too to get everyone going. Like you said about sports, he would do it about music too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, like I used to love Guns N' Roses. Say he can't stand Axl Rose. Bust my balls so much. What the fuck? Screaming and yelling. What is that shit?
Yeah.
No matter what, but he always enjoyed it though. He liked Queensryche. Striper.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the
He liked Queensryche, huh?
The vocal. He loved any good vocals.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
Tate.
was his
Jeff
thing.
Tate was incredible. So.
And that was one of my favorite groups growing up. Queensryche and of course Steve Perry. I mean Journey.
Steve Perry.
I mean he's the king.
He was a huge Uriah Heep fan too.
Uriah Heep.
Uriah Heep, nice, yeah.
Yeah,
David Byron was like his man, what I
loved
mean?
him.
Yeah, oh yeah, Uriah
But
Heep.
Boston, all that stuff. That's what I grew up on from him.
Yeah.
And going into my generation, and then, like I said, what I kind of took on the rap hip hop route, which I don't regret that I didn't follow in his footsteps with the band and stuff. But it's a whole different platform. You know what I mean? It's a whole different game, and I kind of regret now, wishing that I kind of stuck to that a little more than But either way, man, I love it all.
That's who you are. That's your
sure.
I love it all.
That's who you are, man. That's
For sure.
I love it all, man.
Did your old man take you to concerts when you were growing up?
Yeah, actually, my first concert was Kiss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kiss at the auditorium here, and he took me. And we got a funny story about Kiss. He probably told you guys at one time, but Paul Stanley kept pointing to him.
Oh,
he thought. He probably told you guys, but he kept going like this and making a sign to the bodyguard. So my father said, "What the hell is this guy doing, pointing at me? What does he want from me? What does he want me?" And then all of a sudden, the security guard comes out and goes right behind my father, and there's a girl with big, huge breast, and she went backstage. So the whole time he was pointing at the girl behind him. Oh, that's hilarious, man. He thought he was pointing at him, like, what the hell is this guy?
Does he want me to come sing?
Right. But that was funny though. Kiss. I think Ted Nugent or something opened up. I was only 12 maybe, 13 years old. I was young, but I was into the hard rock and metal back then too. So. That was fun, man. But yeah, like I said, he took me to Tower of Power a number of times.
Wow.
Engelbert was a shocker, things like that.
Went saw Queensryche.
Queensryche, yeah.
Operation Mindcrime.
Yeah, that was a great.
Oh wow.
Tour.
Talk about that a lot.
They did the whole album.
Yeah.
Like they did the one time I saw them, they did Operation Mindcrime 1 and 2 back to back.
Yeah, this was before too. This was 91, I think, in Syracuse.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, my father, like I was saying, he appreciated that, even though it was a little heavy for him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he heard Jeff Tate's vocals, and he loved those strong vocals like that. And he always picked out who he liked out of it. Obviously, like Axl Rose was a different story,
Right?
Because of the scream. He's more screaming than a strong vocal.
Yeah.
But he loved it all, man. He liked all different music too.
Laura Piperata is saying he took me to see New Kids on the Block.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
my sister.
And he hated every minute of
Laura,
it.
was that at the Carrier Dome, Laura? Because I was at that concert also.
It was,
Funny, man.
Yeah, I was also at that show. Yeah.
Justin,
That's
if
right.
there's anybody out there, it's you that's got the right stuff.
Oh yeah. Step by step, ooh baby.
Yeah, see, that's my younger sister Laura. She was into that, the pop stuff. My older sister Karen was into the hip hop, so she got me in that direction because she was like a dance. She liked to dance and do all that stuff. So she kind of got me down that road early. And it's just crazy. All this music in one household. I would take everything from everybody. My father's records, Laura's records, Karen, everybody that had music, I would end up with it.
Right.
And this because I loved it all. Like that's how I became a DJ, because I just loved any kind of music.
You were the sponge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, absorbing it all in. Wow, this has been awesome, man. This has
speaking
been so
of
cool.
that Operation Mindcrime tour that you guys went and saw, didn't Suicidal Tendencies open up for that show? Because I remember
boy.
Go Wild saying there was this band that opened up.
Yeah, he
that
didn't
it
like
was
them too much.
terrible. It was terrible. Come to find out it was Suicidal Tendencies.
too
I'm like,
heavy
you
for
guys
his
got
taste,
to see it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you guys really got to see it, but thought it was terrible.
He didn't like that too heavy like that, but
No.
nah, man, we missed him so much, man. It just hasn't been the same since. Never will be. Never.
No way.
How could people get this CD if they're interested?
Right now, Big Apple has copies up there.
Okay.
In New Hartford. We have a Bandcamp opened up for him. Freddy Pep Music at bandcamp.com. They can order from there, or they can message me. I can send it out. Syracuse, we got him at the Soundgarden in Syracuse, and just message me or message someone in my family. They'll be able to get one out to you.
Did you get a bunch of these printed off?
Yeah, I did a bunch. I just wasn't sure at first how much to get. I wanted to make sure we had enough for everybody, and we kind of just go from there. If I need to get more, I can always get more pressed up. But
Yeah, man.
definitely want to keep his legacy alive. And,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving me a CD, man. I can't.
Yeah,
wait
this
to
is
play
so
this later.
appreciated.
I'm really
thank you for
looking
having us
forward
on,
to it, man. This is your dad is definitely missed, man, by many and so many, and it's definitely a hole in our music community for sure. So
yeah, and he loved everybody too, man.
He did.
He really did. He never had a bad word to say about anybody.
Oh.
And besides busting balls, but
Right, breaking
seriously,
balls,
like
but
from
at
his
the end
heart,
of the day, he
always,
loved everybody,
right.
Oh yeah.
He was
always,
just electric. That's what he was. His personality, you could just feel it. It's just
Oh, I know.
Being in his presence, man, it was just electric,
But,
man. There's
I
nothing
mean, growing
like
up with him, you don't want to get him mad. That's the
No,
side
God.
we've seen. A lot of people
Oh
don't
my
see
God,
that side.
man.
Yeah.
that Italian temper, man.
But,
You got
but
a
he
couple
never showed
beatings?
that. Yeah, he never showed that to the outside world.
Of course not.
I put him through hell.
I know
the
you. He
worst.
was.
Oh my God. Jeez. He was my best friend, though, man.
Yeah.
I put him through hell. I was a little too hot to handle.
That's why I lost all my hair because of him.
Oh man.
Oh, that's another thing I wish I would have got from the hair too. I don't have his hair, so
Right.
Yeah. And he was a smooth dresser too.
Oh, yeah.
He was always,
yeah.
It
always
was-
looked good.
He loved the black on black with the the silver cross, the sunglasses. Like that's he had like
That was
a
his style.
Yeah.
Man.
like a look to
Who he was.
and I couldn't pull it off if I tried. It was just something about the way he rocked
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Always had that swagger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Everybody
Sure.
would always ask him, Freddie, how do you stay looking so young? How do you stay looking so good? He'd always say, well, I married a hairdresser. What do you want? I married a hairdresser, man.
Great
Grandma
answer.
Nancy. That's what he always
Yeah,
used to
for
say,
sure.
man.
We got the Just for Men, and the
Yeah.
hair dye in the bathroom for his beard.
God bless my grandmother, man.
When this
sure.
when this Corona coaster is over with, man, we need to do a big tribute music concert for
Yeah.
Freddie.
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely,
maybe
man.
do something at the Stanley or something like that. Get together, get his
Speaking
old
of-
bands together and
Yeah, we would
whatnot.
love
I actually heard something. Steve Felva was saying something about wanting to do something like that. Speaking of like the Stanley or something.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember him saying that he wanted to get something going for that, like a tribute to him
Yeah.
and stuff. And at the Stanley, I
Yeah,
remember
so
he
it's
was
something
telling
we
us.
got to look into and work out some details and stuff like that. But
Yeah, man.
another sad thing that we never got to have a viewing or anything for the funeral services. So we do want to do like a memorial type of thing once
Yeah.
COVID is over, so people can come pay respects, whether it's drive by or beep the horn or something to that effect. We're going to plan something spring, summer. So
Yeah. That's actually why I wanted to do this too. Just
Yeah.
show my respects because
Yeah,
Thank you
absolutely.
so much.
I had a
man. It
lot of
means
love for
to
that
us.
man. You
Yeah.
know, we would sit there and talk sports and just break balls. It was just always a great conversation.
Yeah, man.
So he's definitely missed, man. I appreciate you guys taking time, man. I know it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to talk about this, especially since it's so fresh and stuff. But I really appreciate you guys taking time to talk and give a nice honor to your old
Right.
man. He definitely deserved it. And
yeah, so many good memories, and that's what helps.
Right.
It's of course it's sad and heartbreaking and horrible, but
The worst thing in the world.
so many good memories and stories, and you get to hear his voice and videos, and we got pictures. He loved pictures. You guys see on Facebook. And,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. So thankful for all that, man.
Right,
Videos of him
so-
talking,
Yep.
laughing, singing. Like we'll have that forever. It's,
Yeah.
I'll get to show my kids one day. It's just so thankful for that.
And we
Right.
appreciate you guys so much, man, for having us.
Thank you so
Of
much.
course.
Respect
man.
was always mutual. Believe me, he loved you guys too. So
Yeah.
You always felt that from him, though. Like
You
he made you know that if he respected you, he made sure you knew it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's for sure.
There was nothing fake about Freddie.
No.
He was
No,
just real as it comes.
no,
Real as it comes. But again, thank you so much. Moyer's checking and he's saying let's have a big tribute show for him. And yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Once this Corona coaster's over, let's have a
that'd be
big
great.
old party. And we've been talking about doing some sort of music festival once it's over
Right.
with, and this would be another great thing to be doing too.
Yeah.
So nice little tribute to Freddie.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so thank you everybody out there for listening. Much love to everybody out there in the Piperata family and you guys as well too. And if you guys need anything too, please
Yeah.
use my platform. You just anytime, please holler. If you get your new hardcore band going, FP3,
Yes, FP3. I love it.
FP3 and the Moshers or whatever. I don't know.
Debuting his brand new left-handed 8-string guitar.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, literally. That's another thing too. He'd always get so mad. Grandpa, look at this guitar, and I come up with a 7-string or an
Yeah.
8-string. He's like, "How's this?
What's
How do you-
this crap?"
how do you tone it down? How do you play chords? How do you play chords?
Sure, sure.
You play chords the same way? That's
Moyer-
so funny you said that too.
Moyer, I love what Moyer's saying. He misses Freddie's Facebook pictures. He was fun
Oh,
with
yeah.
making his little memes and
Oh,
always
those
putting his
little- yeah.
face on it on different bodies
Yeah.
and stuff.
He'd take like David Hasselhoff and put his face on it. Big smiling face.
He'd be sitting in his back room laughing his balls off, doing it by himself. Just sitting there laughing his ass off.
Oh man.
So funny, man. It's great, man. But
Awesome.
thank you guys for everybody. We want to thank everyone out there for all the support and love that we received.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
everything, man. The GoFundMe, we couldn't have done some things without you guys, and we appreciate everybody, man. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
The way
much
this
love,
community
man.
pulled
Much love to
together was
the Piperata
absolutely-
family.
Thank you, man.
All you guys.
Appreciate it.
Well, you got to take care of the legends, right? And
Damn
pay
straight.
tribute to them. And Freddie is definitely up there on that level. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, thanks again for coming in. One more time, where can they pick up the CD if anybody's interested?
Big Apple in New Hartford, or they can go on the Bandcamp, Freddy Pep Music, or they can message me or anybody in my family, and they'll let you know how to get one.
Awesome. Freddie and FP3, thanks, guys. Thanks for coming in. This has been a lot of fun.
It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you, guys.
It's been cool.
Appreciate it.
Let's make sure we take a picture and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Much love to EJA Moving Services, my attorney Dave Longaretta, Utica Coffee, and the Saranac Brewery. And, of course, so much love out to the Piperata family. You guys have yourself a good day. Justin, where are you playing anywhere this week? You want to plug where you're playing?
Yeah, I'm playing Wednesday by myself at Fratello's, and Thursday at Dick Smith's. This Thursday, I think no, it won't be Sean. It's either going to be Matt or by myself. I don't know. But Friday, Fratello's with the trio.
You're busy, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
and
Good.
I'm going live on Twitch a couple of days this week, Tuesday and Thursday probably at noon. So
Cool.
Nice.
God bless, man.
Keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. I love it. And then next week we come back with Mark Wachowski,
yes,
who next Monday, and he's calling us from Hawaii.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, judging by the resume he said, we're going to have to like. I mean, this thing had to be like 15 pages long. I mean, which is amazing because the guy legit has had that type of career. You know what I mean? Where he's done all those things that he says. You know, but it's like we're going to have to like block out like 4 hours just to talk to the guy.
Yeah, it's
And
funny.
we still won't get all the way through it.
When he booked it, he's like,
It's
I need to send you and Justin my resume. I'm like, all right, here's our email address. And I looked at it, it's like this thick.
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
God.
Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to get through all this. Mark, we just have a normal conversation. We're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't prepare for any of this stuff.
No, this is not very unprepared, unprofessional,
Yeah, we're the most unprofessional podcast we are, but we're a Sammy Award-winning
podcast.
Congrats, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Much love. And people, go out there and support your local music. Later.
Absolutely.